Welcome back, everyone, to 7 Days to Die. It is, I believe, day 12 at this point. Is it day 12? Yes, day 12.
It's day 12, yes.
Now, in the last episode, we managed to do a bit of hunting around. I think we did a reasonable job of it as well, to be fair. We've got a fair bit of odds and sods that we are slowly converting in the forge into useful things, such as, getting rid of the brass doorknobs and candles and all that, so that we've got actual brass in there. We've also got lead to break down, but we also, and I'm pretty happy with this, got our first harvest from the farm, which is a pretty big deal, in my opinion. A pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Do I have all of the golden rod? Did I use some golden rod up? I swear I turned... Oh, there we are. The golden rod is still crafting. My inventory is taking a long time.
You thought you'd lost it
Yeah, I
all.
was genuinely like, I'm sure I had more than this. What the dickens is going on? But there we are. 20 new potatoes, 20 ears of corn. Not bad if you ask me.
Nope.
With that, we'll replant the well, we've got a lot of... It's the corn that's more important right now than the potatoes. So I'm actually going to drop off the potato seeds. Eventually, we might cycle the fields, depending on what we need. That's genuinely a tactic that we can make use of. Cycle the plants that we need more than the others. But yeah, I think we're going to want more corn. In fact, let me go ahead and turn these ears of corn into as many more seeds as I can. If I have 20 seeds, then I can create quite a lot of corn fairly quickly, which I would welcome. We can drop off anything that we can't use, though. That should be fine. How are you doing over there, Sheila? What are you working on?
I am still working on the basement. I just decided I'd spend a bit of today on my building stuff still, rather than being too scavengy today.
No, that makes sense.
Done a lot of scavenging.
Yeah, we have done quite a lot of scavenging that way.
I'm being silly.
What's wrong?
What I should be doing is mining inside the base. I'm like going outside to get rocks, and I'm like, no, I should be mining inside the base because I'll just hit the rock layer.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I'm going to need to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So what I'll probably end up having to do now is dig dirt.
That makes sense. Well, I'm going to be waiting a little bit for the trader to open up. That opens up, I think, is it at 8 a.m.? Or is it a little bit later than that?
I think it's either 6 or 8. It's no later than 8, definitely.
Well, that's fine then. Now, unfortunately, I laid down the flagstone blocks after actually discussing with Sheila in the last episode that, yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm such a derp sometimes. I actually want these to be half blocks. Though only a couple of places do I want the half blocks. And I guess right now that does require that I decide where I'm going to put everything. So it isn't terrible, but it's also not great. Oh, have I hit the stone layer here? No.
It seems to be about 3 down you get to the stone
Well,
layer.
in that case, I may need to...
hit.
Worry about that. Is this the stone layer? It might be. I may have actually hit the stone layer, which is kind of annoying, but we'll see. If it is, then no, the textures are just playing with me. The textures are just being scallywags, I feel. That's fine.
I think the stone layer is 1 layer below where you're going to be, because it's 1 layer below the floor I'm putting in. So I'm putting the floor in on top of the stone layer. Okay. So you will probably have dirt, 1 layer of dirt. If you go any further down than that, I think you're going to hit stone.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Hope that makes
sense.
sense.
No, it does make sense. It tells me all I need to know. Also, I need to go and grab myself my hoe, because I am having to dig up all of the ground, so I'm going to need to replow those fields as well. Well, I've got enough time to do that. I think once I've done that, I'm going to go through our inventory, grab out a couple of things to take to the traders, and then head on over and hopefully get some decent things, first and foremost, out of the reward that we'll get for having having completed the quest. But then additionally, We'll also get maybe some decent trades. I'm not entirely sure on that one, but we'll see. Okay, actually, do I have a skill point to spend? I do, and I could go for pack mule, or, given that I'm about to head out and do some trading, I could have better barterer, get a 10% deal buying and 5% deal selling, or daring adventurer, get an additional choice for quest rewards, or charismatic nature. No, I don't think I need that one. I think it's the daring adventurer, really. That one's the real one to go for. Ultimately, this is something I really want to do. Doing quests for the trader seems to be where, at least for me, where I end up mid-game. That's one of the big things that I do mid-game.
It is a good mid-game tactic, I feel. It's very enjoyable, actually.
Also, red tea. Maximize your stamina use. Okay. Told you the tea was good. Perfect. Need to do this more when I'm doing hard work. Have a nice cuppa. Reminds me of my days working on building sites with my dad. Good times, though. Very good times. Stopping for a cuppa every now and then out of our flask. Or if the person whose house we were working on was around, then naturally they would offer us a cup of tea, because no one leaves workmen out in Britain without a cup of tea. Perish the bloody thought.
I felt awful when we were moving house, right? And there was a workman that came to do something, but we'd all moved like most of the stuff, including the kettle.
That was awful, yes. Oh, hello. Hello, Zombo. Thank you very much for letting me know. Oh, there's a wandering horde outside, Sheelab. Otherwise known as EXP. Lots of it.
There's some EXP outside, Sheelab.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I can get...
There's a lot of it. Zombie workmen, too.
If the hatch will let me out.
So, good chance of tools.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Plonk them. A couple of them. Some of them are going to die on our defenses, I suspect, but it's just the way that goes.
Yeah.
Pick you out if I can. There we go. Going for the headshot is still worth it, simply because you've got such a good chance of getting a one-shot kill. And there's really no reason not to. Hello. Oh, that was a bad miss. How are you doing over there, Sheila?
Oh, I'm out of stamina. Ooh, it's a bit cold at the moment.
Yeah. Well, do you want some tea?
Yeah.
I've got quite a few jars of it, so... I think they are all dead. And not one of them dropped any good stuff. Much sadness. I mean, you know, other than copious amounts of EXP. That was pretty good. I'm not going to lie, that was very good.
Yeah, get back in near the torches, where I will be warm. I am going to have to
here's some tea, though.
This coat. Oh, the tea for me, thank you.
That will help with your stamina. I do have some forged iron on me, so I can repair these broken or damaged defenses here. And you might as well.
Nice. Did you repair all of the walls as well, or does that still need a bit of love and attention?
It probably needs a once-over.
Right, okay.
That's okay.
I'll take around the next lot of cobblestone rocks that I make and just...
It's okay.
Go around
I'm
repairing.
just doing that now. Just making sure.
Oh, you're doing it already?
Yeah, well, I'm out here with cobblestone rocks, so I might as well. But the claw hammer will generally allow you to do repairs and building work significantly faster than otherwise.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit too fast. You will end up upgrading things you didn't mean to upgrade. Which does suck a little bit, but, you know, it's also...
It's annoying.
It's also just the way things go. Repairing this section of the defense is probably worth it. Because things will damage this, and if they damage enough of these blocks, they could collapse the bridge section. If they do that, then that is awful news for us. These parts here, not as much of an issue, since this is one of the more important parts of the trap. But, you know, keeping your base in good state of repair worth it. There we go.
Always a good, yeah, it's always a good thing. And I did say, like, I remember looking back at one of the episodes, and I said the plan for today is to do this, and repair the horde base, and we never did. And I'm like,
Kind of got a little bit distracted, did we? All right, let's got some gravel down here. It's good. Some sand and some rock for free. There we are. But it does mean I need to make some forest ground. You can go ahead and make any kind of terrain if you particularly want to. I don't know if the type of terrain you use will change the biome of the area. And that is a really interesting question. Because if you could do that, then you could make a burnt forest biome just by putting down burnt forest ground, which would be rather interesting. As that will generate very specific types of enemies that you might want, that you might genuinely want more than the regular sorts that you get. But it's also, you know, other types of enemies besides the burning zombies.
Get more vultures.
Well, if there was a way to make the Badlands zone, then yeah, you might be able to. I don't know though. Perhaps if someone knows in the comments, you could let me know. Am I hungry or am I thirsty? I am hungry. I am not too surprised. It's been a little while since I've eaten. Grab that in. Now, setting up this farm is going to take me a while. I'm going to set it up enough that it can be functional, but that is about as far as I'm going to go until we pass the next horde.
Right, yeah.
So I'm not going to prettify it too much. I'm not going to worry too much that there are parts that aren't dug out properly. I just want to be able to isolate it. And then once that is, it is sufficiently defended, so it's got walls on all sides, so on and so forth, then I will look to set that up with access to the main base. I think that's the point where I'm going to consider this complete. Oh no, that is actually dirt. Let's pop that back in. We are going to want more forest ground. Also, I'm going to say... what?
I have a couple of questions just about how to proceed with this. So I'm going down to the next layer now.
Right.
And so does the... it's just... you want the floor to be the ceiling, basically. You don't need like 2 layers of wooden blocks.
In fact, specifically, I want the floor to be the ceiling for a functional reason. If the floor wasn't the ceiling, then it would make my eventual plan to have a very rapid way of dropping off looted items much more difficult.
Yeah, we need the exact right layers, don't we, for this plan?
Exactly. Get this all sorted out, and then I've got another field that I can plant. Got a storm up here. I'm going to get wet, unfortunately. But,
no, that sucks.
There we go. Right, time for blueberry seeds, I think. Let's get these going. Yep. Perfect. Let's get these areas dug up as well. So I'm going to stick my head up, just make sure there is no zombies nearby. No, there are not. Okay, very, very glad. Let's get the iron shovel going. But yeah, it can take a little while to set up the functional areas of a base. But I received quite a lot of positive feedback in the comments that people found it quite cathartic to just watch me digging the farm out and preparing the fields and stuff. So that reassured me a bit.
Enjoy me doing the basement as well. Then.
Yeah,
that's good.
To be fair, it's one of the reasons why I enjoy watching Minecraft Let's Plays. There is something cathartic, but I appreciate that not everyone feels that way, and it's why, depending on what I'm playing, I might cut out certain parts. Typically, if it's something where I'm just waiting, or just, like a project's going to take 30 minutes of just digging a field, I'm not sure that everyone's going to enjoy that, or even a majority at that point. But maybe, 10 minutes of watching something, and at the end of 10 minutes, you've got a complete project. That's quite fun to do. Maybe 5 minutes, what have you. But when it's just waiting, for example, in Oxygen Not Included, sometimes I'm just waiting for my duplicants to finish doing something. And that I will typically cut out, I think. I'm out of stamina. There we go. Let that stamina all regenerate. There we go. Have I got a skill point? I do not. And I'm a little ways off from getting that as well. But the next one is going to go into... have I gotten my pack meal one already? No, I don't. So the next one is going to be the next level of pack meal. Because honestly, I'm just holding us back whenever we're out doing something. Which isn't so bad, but I can hear something going around.
That's me making falls.
Okay, that's fine.
Possibly.
No, it does sound distant enough that it is probably you. I was just a little bit concerned. It's like, there's something trying to break in. I think it might be. Alright, so chrysanthemums and golden rods. Now, this is a big question. I'm actually going to lay it out like this for now, where I've got the chrysanthemums and the goldenrod in their own rows. They're going to be in the same farm tile, the same farm section, but in their own rows. But, and this is a serious question. I'm honestly asking it. In chat, for those of you who care about such things, do you prefer having things like that where we've got just 2 separate rows of plants where they will grow at the same speed and thus be harvested at the same time? Would you have more of a checkered pattern, or would you run two rows side by side? Because this is important. Or maybe you'd have the rows running horizontally instead of vertically. I must know.
Ooh, choices.
It sounds like a silly thing, but it's genuinely something I'm curious about. It is a silly thing. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. But I am honestly curious. Because there was a moment there I was like, well, I could do it zigzaggy, but the comments. But you never know. People might like that. I'm just going to finish digging up this little row here so I can plant the plants so that they will be ready all about the same time. And then I'm going to go and deal with the trader.
My poor character is always thirsty and always hungry.
Because we're doing hard work. It's pulling down our stamina quite actively. I mean,
unlike me in real life.
When you think about it, this is effectively, for all intents and purposes, this is effectively manual labor because it's the same as combat as far as the game's concerned. We're using tools in much the same way we would use a weapon. So our stamina gain perks, I think it is, which one is it? Sexual Tyrannosaurus, I believe. Yeah, reduce melee and tool stamina usage. That is an honest-to-goodness important skill to have. I'm going to plant the aloe and the corn here. I don't have a full group of aloe.
I just remembered.
What's wrong?
We like to change sides, don't we?
With the ladders. I don't ever like having one single long ladder. I prefer a little bit of time on a floor.
That's fine. We still have time to fix.
Well, we got loads of time to fix. The blood moon is very far away. I think I will probably have one more row on each side for fields. So we'll have 3 on each side. That'll give me enough fields for pretty much everything I'm going to want, I would think. I might be a little bit off with that, but we'll see. Probably going to tear down some of the cars while we pass by on the way. So I'll take my wrench with me, but I'm going to head over the trader. Is there anything specific you want me to look for, Sheelab, at the trader?
A coat if possible.
Okay. Anything other than that?
Not that I am aware of.
I'll bear this in mind. Need a little bit more wood on the fire in here. I'll put all 16 and keep this going for a good long while. 13 minutes, by the way. I'm also going to smelt the sand so I can make some glass. Let's turn that on. I'll drop the lead off that I was holding on to. In fact, I'm going to drop most of these things off for now while I'm out and about. I'm going to need a tool. Don't need the claw hammer.
What do I need to repair an iron pick? Forged iron.
Forged iron, yes. Do you want me to set
Are we making that yet?
Oh yeah, we've been making it quite a lot. Do you want me to set up a big batch of forged iron?
That would be
There's 50
amazing.
being made in the forge right now, then.
At the minute. Oh, brilliant. I'll go and grab one to just repair my pickaxe.
Alright.
But yeah, I'm going to go through this pickaxe quite aggressively, I imagine. The snow is so pretty in this.
I'm going to sell the basic level 1 pickaxes we've got. Well, I'll keep one of them. Just in case you don't have one yet. But I should be able to get a decent bit of cash out of this.
I have a level 1 pickaxe.
You've got it on
me.
you,
I just need to keep... yeah, I just need to keep... I'll take this forged iron if that's okay, and I'll just keep repairing it
by
as
all
I go.
means.
Because I'm going to be doing a lot of mining out this... Now, the level that I'm doing at the moment, that I'm just going down into, the level I just dug was a crawl space. And then I'm going to be going down 4 blocks. And that's going to be the height of the main base. So that's, you go down 2 levels before you start getting into the main part of what's going to be the proper base.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Should be good.
And Aavak has like super secret plans, which is why we have to do all the levels exactly.
Well, they're not that's super secret. Effectively, I'd like the base to be a bit deeper. It does affect things like whether zombies can hear you and will approach generally, but a witch will still investigate even if you're down on bedrock if you're making enough heat. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, that was a good shot. Managed to take out a deer with a shot to the head from afar with a sneak attack. We'll have gotten everything
Nice.
here, but that's a nice bit of extra animal fat and other gubbins. There we go. And 34 meat as well. Very nice. But the main base will be layers and layers further down. I'm a big fan of having this multiple rooms. And having them have a distinct function, rather than one gigantic room with every kind of workbench in it, and so on and so forth. But the main thing with the crawl space is having the crawl spaces there so that we can run electricals in a space that means we're not going to have wires just crisscrossing over the rooms themselves, which is kind of frustrating to me at the very least. Did I drop off my torch? Oh, damn it. I don't think I could make it.
In fact, do you want, with the crawl space, right? Okay, so I'm doing alternating ladders into the crawl space. Or do you want a ladder going all the way through this crawl space into the main base and then alternate the ladders going down further?
No, you can do alternating ladders from the crawl space as well, that's fine.
Alternating ladders from the crawl. Because we could always just, like, make, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Right, well, in terms of my quest, I can get a shotgun, level 1, 17 flaming arrows, or a level 2 leather boots. I'll get 588 casino tokens and 5,000 EXP, regardless. I'll take the leather for now, because honestly, out of everything there, that was probably the best thing that we could have gotten. Let's go ahead and sell all of that. We're starting to get so much leather now that we could probably happily sell the leather that we've got. Will you buy this pistol? No, you're still not looking into getting pistols. No. It's going to take a little while before she's willing to buy more of that. But I'll sell off the tools that we've got that we don't need. Right. I could straight up just sell the leather boots back. If I really wanted to. The traders will refresh their inventory after a time, but it'll take a little bit of time for it to get to that point. A tool and die set is going to be important to us, but it's not something we need right now. Buy a serrated blade mod for my machete. Might not be a bad choice.
Does that cause more bleeding and things like that?
That is exactly what it does, yeah. Cement there. Iron. Well, I just sold those iron pickaxes, so that's not something we need. There is no coat, I'm afraid. Or at least nothing I can see.
I'll find one eventually.
There's plenty. Oh, there's crossbow, but that's way expensive. I'll be able to make them probably before I have that kind of money, unless I did a really focused effort to do questing.
Yeah, you might end up. Yeah, you might end up with one as a quest reward.
Yeah, there's a genuine possibility of that. I think I will go ahead and I'll buy a serrated blade mod. for now. It's about the only thing that's of worth to me. Now, this is more useful than the blue dye that I currently have on my machete, simply because it increases the odds of me getting a bleeding hit. Did it actually tell me exactly how much it increased that odd by? No, it didn't. But that's fine. I will keep that there. Do I have... Did I? Okay. There we go. There we go. That's proper. I can now put that dye on, for example, my shovel, which will increase the rate that my shovel will be able to dig blocks, which is quite useful, honestly.
Yeah. Ooh, that is very useful. So, I am just finishing off the floor now in the...
Excellent. What else are you intending to do today? We're about... I can see the snow coming down really heavy over our base, my lord. But yeah, we're just past midday.
I was kind of just thinking just to set this place up, this basement up a little bit. Just put some chests in here, maybe move a few things over even.
Yeah, by all means. So you're still talking about the crawl space area, or have you excavated the whole basement area below it?
No, I have only done the crawl space so far.
Okay, well, that's fine. If you wanted to, we could temporarily move a bunch of stuff over there. The forge, I would recommend not moving, but we could definitely move the food and our other sundries across. But the forge, because I've spent so much time putting items into it, it would take me time to get those items back out, which would be a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not have to do that. So I'm going to take apart this sedan. This sedan will never regenerate its content, despite it being in a very good state of repair and having the best chance to have good loot in it. It'll never repair fully. And the reason for that is because we live way too close for it to ever have like 30 days uninterrupted time in order to repair. So I may as well just pull it apart and get whatever I can out of it. Now, it might have been worth waiting to get a higher skill type, so I could pull it apart with a better chance of getting good loot out of it, but I don't really consider it too much of an issue, honestly, right now. We should be okay. But I do think we're getting to a point now with certain things we can afford to just sell.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of selling the leather as leather, whereas I could have turned it into things like armor and sold that, which was a bit of a derpy move on my part. But I'll bear that in mind moving forward. On that note, yeah, there should be a couple of things that I can make with it. With some duct tape, I can make all things like leather chest, armor, gloves, leather hood, so on and so forth. Bandolier requires a schematic, unfortunately, so that's not going to be happening. I do need the leather for the bicycle chassis and the bicycle handlebars. I will try and put together a bicycle in this episode, I think.
Ooh,
yeah, once we have that, then looting becomes actually quite a trivial thing for us to do.
Yes.
And we can start taking a lot more trader quests, which I think would be well worth it.
That's so good.
There we go. That's the second one grabbed. Let's go ahead and pop these back to the base. I will see about if we have the materials together to be able to put together a first bike. I think we might. I think we might be very lucky. Ooh, that is a bit of a ground glitch. You can get rid of that ground glitch by digging anything. Anything that is part of this ground. There we go. It's just the terrain sometimes glitches out. If you modify the terrain in any way, it'll work out what it needs to do and fix itself. For a moment, this shovel looks for all the world like it's a steel shovel. It is absolutely not. Much to my dismay, but...
like you wish it was a steel shovel.
It's just coloured the right colours to fake it, basically. I am going to need another...
The shovel is faking it till it makes it.
Yeah, exactly.
It wants to be a steel shovel.
Keep living the dream.
And pretend to be one.
Keep living the dream.
And eventually it might do it. Yeah.
I believe in you, shovel. Drop off all of the odds and sods. There we go. Alright, I should actually, I do need that fat thinking about it. Because I want to make another torch.
The people at home sitting there watching. And they're like crying over the fate of this poor shovel. It started off an orphan. And it went to the big city.
My lord. This is storytelling. This is on par with me trying to make everyone feel guilty about the blocks in Dragon Quest Builders.
With a little stick and a handkerchief.
Little spindle, yeah. Right. Actually, I need to move that rotten flesh across. Just doing a little, tiny bit of inventory management while I'm here. Drop off the casino tokens. Okay. I think the testosterone extract should be dropped off here because you can use this to make certain things, but can I bring that up? There we go. Steroids, which will increase melee damage by 50%, makes you stronger. Side effects may include low strength and addiction for some users after discontinued use. Need oil, green alcohol, and testosterone extract. Suffice to say, we don't have those, so it's not going to be happening.
I have drunk tea.
There you go. Right, so, the bicycle. Need a bicycle chassis. Forged iron, mechanical parts, duct tape and leather. Bicycle handlebars. Short iron pipe, mechanical parts, leather and duct tape. We've got a decent amount of duct tape, mechanical parts, short iron pipe. Forged iron is also something we require. Forged iron. Ooh. Can you have a peek out of the horde base? I think there may be something crawling around nearby.
Have a quick look.
Thank you. Bicycle handlebars is going to take 9 seconds. It's excellent. 39 seconds there. Double excellent.
Not seeing anything out the front. Maybe out the back? Around the back somewhere?
Could be. For this, I need bottles of acid and lumps of coal. How many bottles of acid do we have?
We've picked up a few.
We've got enough to make one. We have got enough. We've got 2 bottles of acid, which is enough to make 2 wheels. Which is what we need. Oh, and we should have engine also.
No, I'm not seeing anything crawling around outside the horde base.
No. Outside the main base. Yeah.
The house base. Ah, okay. I'll go and take a look there now.
Does this need to be made on a workbench? I wonder.
There's like a lumberjack a ways away. If you look around the front.
Oh no, I need. 12, 1. Oh no, I need more scrap polymers. My bad. There we go. Okay, I am about to complete all the components needed for a bicycle. That's going to be rather awesome.
Very nice.
Oh
no.
I need 1 mechanical part as well.
Well, that was embarrassing.
What happened?
I hit the lumberjack with my club, and he made me bleed out.
He made you bleed out?
But then I hit him on the head and made his head explode. So that was retribution. Yay!
Fair enough. Well done.
I'm full of stories today.
Right, I've got my level 2 pack mule.
All the
Hooray!
stories. Woohoo!
I am not quite as encumbered by everything as I was before. This is great. Now we should be able to make glass jars, I think. Yeah, there we are. I can make 22 glass jars. I will make 20 glass jars. That is more than enough. Just need 1 minute's worth of fuel in there.
Oh, we can make glass jars now. That is.
Yeah, well, I've got a little bit of sand here and there, basically. You don't need much to be able to make glass, so.
Yeah.
It really isn't a big deal to do. Thankfully. Right, I need more of the flagstone blocks and the cobblestone. Dirt. And what are we going to plant here? I would say the potato seeds. Wow, the yucca seeds would be nice.
Yeah.
I've only got 3 of those, so I could plant them. if I get one extra potato seed, that I can easily make, I'll be able to plant... Oh no, I've got 4 yucca seeds. Never mind, I've got exactly the amount I need. Alright, this is actually pretty cool. Right, the bicycle is being crafted. Ah, happiest of days.
Woo!
It'll take me 15 seconds. It doesn't take me long to construct the bicycle once I've got all the parts.
Once you've got the stuff.
It takes me much longer to make the bicycle wheels than anything else. And there we go. Bicycle complete. Donk. If you hold E, you can interact with it. You can lock it or unlock it. Generally leave it unlocked unless you don't trust everyone on the server. You can enter in a code.
I know, shady Sheilab.
Yeah, don't be worried about that.
Might steal your bicycle and break it.
You have got modifiers in there. I don't believe that anything really affects it though. I could be wrong about this. Let me have a quick look. I put the blue dye. Can I dye my bicycle? It's very important.
It's very important to know if you can dye your bicycle.
You cannot dye your bicycle, unfortunately. This makes me super sad. That's fine. However, you can go into the storage, and the bicycle has its own storage, and it's a reasonable amount. Every vehicle has a bit more storage than the last, so you can end up with vehicles that have quite a lot of storage in it. But there we go. Now, the chief advantage of the bicycle is it's silent. The disadvantage is it uses your stamina to move around. So it can...
But it doesn't use fuel.
Yeah, it doesn't use fuel. So, you know, you are the fuel. Manpower is the fuel. But using stamina can mean that if you are tired, if you're in a pretty rough position, then, you know, you're not going to be able to get out of that rough position really fast enough, which can be a bit of a problem for obvious reasons. Still, I think bicycles are probably... I probably stay with bicycles a lot longer than I need to, even when I've got means to make like hogs and 4x4s.
Motorbikes.
In the moment you get a gyrocopter, you should be making a gyrocopter, but the bicycle still has a place for a long time. It's nice, cheap and easy to make, cheap and easy to use. It's generally just a good choice, a good all-round choice.
It's always good to have a spare bicycle, like even if you do sort of die and lose a motorbike and something and you go back to base. Yep. And
the bicycle is just outside the farm, Sheila, in case you want to do a little bit of quick scavenging.
I think I'll probably wait until the morning now to do a scavenger run, so I'll just carry on. I know it's been a lot of mining this episode, a lot of one thing, but we now have the main part of the base is now a hole in the floor of the basement.
Okay.
So we are actually getting somewhere with the level that we're actually going to dig the base out on, which I find quite exciting. I don't know about anybody else.
Oh, I certainly think it's quite exciting. Right. I'm trying not to make extra work for myself right now by placing down flagstone blocks when I'm not going to want them. But that is going to mean this is going to become increasingly messy and harder to see the eventual shape of this farm. Still, I hope you can...
it's going to be one of these things where it like magically comes together later.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I hope anyway. There we go. Let's just get all of this sorted. There we are. Right. Let's dig out this little area and then I can get the next farm down. The next farm can just be potatoes for now. So, what are you thinking about moving across to the base first, Sheila? The horde base, that is.
Moving across to the horde base. I've already put 6 storage chests in.
Okay. That sounds amazing.
To move things.
That sounds, honestly quite amazing.
So it's, yeah, pretty much all ready just for things to be carted.
Okay.
And then we can live here. Hurrah.
Hurrah indeed. I'm thinking...
We're making a few more torches to light the place up as well.
I need to place down some frames just so I can work things out. This is 3 wide. So that means this is going to be a pillar. This can eventually be a pillar, so on and so forth. Okay, that makes things a lot easier for me. So all of this is going to be walkable. Unfortunately, that means there's no shortcuts. I'm going to have to pull up all of this this flagstone and replace it with half blocks. Still, again, not the worst thing that I could do. Because I just feel that the dip between a full flagstone block and the farm tile is a little bit too extreme. Whereas a half block would create a nicer lip, I think. It would look intentional.
You do what you need to do to make it look pretty.
Thank you very much. We want half blocks then. No, not the wedge. There we go. Let's start out with 6 for now. And I can at least replace these little parts in the middle. Because I know that was making some people's brains itch.
Well, we're certainly not going to run out of stone for arrows.
Oh, no, of course, yeah, because you're mining so heavily.
I'm mining like tons and tons of rock out now.
There we go. Got this one sorted as well. And we just need a couple of walkways in between all of this, and we should be good. Oops. That is the cobblestone block. I mean, I do need to pull that down, but with a shovel, that's not exactly the best way of doing it.
Oh, that's not going to happen, is it?
Right. So you're thinking of going for a bit of an explore on the morrow, Sheilab, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any point. I think it's better to have whole days where you scavenge and then whole days where you spend time on the base rather than mixing it up too much, because then you don't get much of either done,
yeah,
you know?
Well, that makes sense. Well, what I might do is I might start looking around, because we're going to need more acid for me to make another bicycle. If we can get to the point where we've got 2 bicycles, that would, of course, be the best scenario, because then we can both go for much more distant locations.
Just go through an apartment complex and just look under every kitchen sink.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the best place to find anything like that is kitchen sinks.
Wrenches and acid, kitchen sink.
You may laugh, but it does make sense when you think about it. We'll replace these with half blocks as well. There we are. Now, by and large, the pillars, the supports here should be able to support this distance of block. Really hopeful. What I may do is use the rebar to make reinforced concrete blocks at the top of each pillar.
Yeah.
As I believe those have a stronger structural support capacity.
Yeah, so they'll support further out from themselves.
Exactly, yeah.
Sheilab's super simple explaining.
Well, if you can explain something simply, then that's a better explanation, honestly. Just because it takes you long to explain something doesn't mean you've done a better job.
It's just that the Sheilab explaining normally has the word thingamy in it.
It's a useful word. How dare you besmirch the legacy of the word thingamy? Let's pop this in. I'm not sure I can. Oh no, I can. Perfect. Okay. Out from these half blocks of flagstone, they will be full flagstone blocks. They will create the wall of this farm. The half flagstone blocks will mark the area where I'm going to be using it as a walkway.
It feels so much nicer when you actually start to be able to walk in the space you're making. Like when you're first trying to dig down and you can barely move, it's always a bit claustrophobic.
Yeah, I definitely understand that when you're just wandering around and everything is just a natural terrain like dirt or stone, it just, even if it's completely functional, it just feels unfinished. It's Like having a house made of dirt blocks in Terraria. I mean, it is functional. It will stop the zombies from being able to get to you. But it just looks awful.
Ew.
It doesn't feel like a house.
But ew.
I mean, an NPC won't move in, but you can totally make, live there yourself. It's just why would you?
You're allowed to live in a dirt house, but an NPC's like, no, no way.
They have higher standards than the players.
They do.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, that's another pick I've gone through.
2 torches. I mean, there's no obvious place for me to put the torches now, unfortunately, but this will have to do. Nope, come down here. Thank you. There we go. That'll shine enough light while I'm just setting this area up at the very least. Now what I could do is immediately build out the wall at the back, and that might not be a bad idea. At least have one fully upgraded wall. I would not be against that. So that would mean time for the claw hammer to come up. Though, if I'm doing this, what I'm not doing is planting more seeds, and that is a bit of a silly thing for me to do. I should prioritize getting the function of the farm up and running first.
It'll be fine if you spend 10 minutes doing something else.
Well, I mean, it will be fine, but it'll mean that I'll be inclined to not harvest the farm until all of the crops are ready. So it might mean an extra day, basically.
How are we doing for like food and stuff? Because both of us have been very focused on other
We're doing
things.
amazingly. We've got like 20
cool.
meat stews in the base. We're fine for food for quite some time.
Grab some. I'll start hauling a few things over then.
Okay, that sounds good.
To the new base, to the horde base.
By all means, yeah. On the plus side, I am actually getting a decent amount of EXP from doing this. It used to be that you would learn by doing, LBD. However, that did tend to lead a player to a min-maxy way of playing the game. It used to be that the best thing you could do for gaining levels or stats or whatever was to mine. Because mining gave the best overall return on investment. You would spend the least amount of time doing the task and the most amount of time getting benefit out of it. So everyone would race for the first pickaxe and then would just spend ages down in the mines, which was kind of funny, but it did kind of make you a prisoner of it in a way. Oh, this item needs a repair.
Yeah.
You became a prisoner to the most efficient EXP grinding method. So I know it's a bit controversial to say, but I actually do like the fact that you've got the skill system now where getting better at something involves you using your skill points to buy a perk. Now, it's not a perfectly balanced system, and I do believe there's going to be a lot of changes introduced in the next version, Alpha 18. But as it is right now, I think this is generally an overall better system than the previous one.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost finished with the last part of this farm. Okay. What I will probably do is have lighting running along the ceiling. Although I'm gonna have to have the lighting connections visible, which does bother me a bit, but what can you do?
Aww. And there was no other way to design it, really.
No, unless I had the lighting on the floor and then I ran the electricity connections underground. I mean, of course, I could sink the farm even further down. It's just that I don't think that's necessarily the best option.
I think if you sink it too far down, you're going to hit rock, and then it's going to be a bit difficult to do some of the things you want to do.
Well, I can make the ground. That's not the problem. But it's just an awful lot of work just for a small game.
Yeah.
And I would never be able to have any kind of crawl space running above it, no matter what happened. I'd just be able to make it a little bit more uniform because directly below it would be another crawl space, so I could have the power running up from below instead of running down from above. But I need a clear line of sight to the surface for the plants to grow. for obvious reasons.
Yes. Otherwise, it'd be like, no, it's dark. No growing.
Pretty much. But on the point of it being dark, it is about nighttime.
Well, I've moved one chest full of stuff over.
Okay. Some more ground. I think I only need 2 of them.
Just move my torch down here. Ooh. Accidentally hitting flagstone blocks with my torch instead of just putting the torch onto the flagstone block. Not clever.
I do that all the time, I'll be honest. One more as well. This should be the last part of the farm in place. Anything beyond this now, I think will just be surplus to demand. I really don't think we need more farms than we're going to have here. Plant down the yucca. Yucca is quite useful as a plant. I don't recommend skipping it, even though you're going to have better food types. I think yucca fruit is honestly a really useful drink because you can make yucca juice.
Yeah, I was going to say yucca juice. And does it cool you down, yucca juice? Or
I believe so. I think it's a cooling.
I can't remember because there's been all sorts of things that it's done in the past, and then it changes all the time, yeah. So it's hard to keep up sometimes with everything. But I think that's the case.
There you go. Right. Well, as far as the farm is concerned, it is now completely laid out. I do need to still do a lot of work building up the walls so that it is defended, and I would like to get that done before the horde. Simply because the horde itself might damage the farm depending on which direction they decide to attack the base from. If they decide to attack the base from the direction of the farm, then they may well fall down into the farm and then decide to burrow into the base rather than try to go around it.
Yeah. One good thing that I've done, it's got lots of rock and lots of dirt from digging this thing out.
Excellent. So with that, you're going to be able to make a lot of cobble then.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, that's definitely a boon for us as things are right now.
Although it does seem to be that we have more rock than dirt now because the dirt's being used up for flagstone and the rock is what's being produced now.
That will almost always be the case.
So we might need to dig a pit somewhere.
There we go. I can now lay out the final shape that we're going to have. Over here is going to be a wall. This whole area will be wall. This needs to go back one more. There we are. So this gives me the full perimeter of the farm. This will be flagstone, and then that will be a wall there, and we'll hook up to this one. Okay, awesome. Now with that, I am going to want to make some more torches just to pop down here, just to keep this going for the night. Now, before anyone wonders, when I was talking about needing line of sight to the sky above, you do need that. You can't trick the game with torches. Unfortunately, that would be kind of fun, but no.
That would be so good. Underground farm. Zombies can never find it.
You can and kind of do want a part of the farm underground because that's where you'd grow mushrooms.
Yeah.
Do we have anything to drop off there? No. We do have.
We've previously had separate mushroom farms, haven't we?
Yes. Yeah. You will eventually want stone for things like cement. Whether we're going to want it right now, though, I don't think. So we're going to avoid doing that. But we do have plenty of sand to cook. So let's go ahead and get that going. 22 new glass jars. There we go.
Perfect. Oh, I feel like we're making so much progress now.
Yeah, I know we are. We definitely are. Right. If I want to go ahead and make the beginnings of the next bicycle. Oh, you've moved a lot of stuff across to the other place, have you?
Oh, I apologize.
Oh, no,
yeah.
no, don't apologize. It's fine. I can come over and grab it there. In fact,
you can have a little look at what I've been doing as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen much of it.
Definitely worth doing. I think anything else? Oh, the leather. There we are.
It looks pretty smart so far.
Parts. I think I may actually have enough to start work on the bicycle. Yeah, I can work on the bicycle chassis, bicycle handlebars. Yeah, the only thing now I need is acid. Now you can make acid in a chemistry station, I think, which is a little ways away from where we are.
Yeah, quite yet.
Yeah. Okay. Have you brought over all the food? No, that's fine. Leave that in there for now.
The reason I didn't bring the food was because we didn't really have a space for the fireplaces and things over here yet, so I thought it would be a bit silly to move the food quite yet.
That's fair. Now, it'll be worth us checking out with the trader to see if they ever have any acid for sale. But again, if we go to the right sort of points of interest, basically houses or anywhere which might actually be using acid in an industrial capacity, then well worth it. Well worth it. Okay, pretty dark down here. Do I have enough cobblestone blocks? I do. I do. I've got my claw hammer too. I don't have cement on me, so... Have these fully upgraded? No. Alright. I'm going to upgrade these while I'm here then. That makes this area significantly more defended.
Oh, yes.
Zombies will consider this a very tough prospect to mine through.
Why is there like one block on on that side and then not one block on...
we just didn't have the resources for it. We just reinforced as much of this base as we could, and then we stopped.
Oh, right. So shall I just dig it out and move
yeah.
then?
Having a band of reinforced flagstone, absolutely worth it.
I've absolutely got the flagstone for it.
Fire axe there. But yes, once we've got 2 bicycles, it's going to be so much fun.
That'll be super fun.
You know what? We've probably not upgraded the ones in the corners, so it is what it is.
I might have the cobble to do it. Oh.
It's okay. I've got the cobblestone on me. It's just I've probably not done the other one, unfortunately. But it's not like I was going to pull down the cobblestone blocks that were already there just to reinforce it. That would have been so.
No, exactly.
But I shall go down and check out this whole place. Oh, very nice indeed. Super duper nice. You're doing a good job down here too. You're doing an amazing job, Sheila. Absolutely stellar.
Thank you.
And you're reinforcing this with cobble
so this
down
will
here
eventually be the...
Glorious.
I just thought it looked nice.
Yeah.
Just continue
Don't double reinforce this because we don't know where we're going to go from here. And pulling down just a level 1 cobblestone is easy enough to done. But pulling down level 2 cobblestone is actually a real pain in the bum.
Okay.
That being said, I've done exactly the same thing here in the crawl space. Oh, I'm an idiot. Actually, no. This isn't the crawl space. I'm lying. I'm being a derp.
Yeah, this is the crawl space.
That's fine.
And then this is the main base.
Basically, until we decide on the size of rooms,
like much, but
don't reinforce the cobble. But having the cobble there is worth doing because it'll prevent zombies from getting crazy
It'll stop
ideas.
anything like... Yeah, and it'll also stop anything from caving in that shouldn't cave in or whatever, so...
Yep.
You know, just a bit of structural support.
No, exactly. Actually, while I'm here, I will go ahead and drop things off. Have we got any kind of rhyme or reason to these storage chests yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Could maybe start labeling them, maybe, and...
Actually, that's not a half bad idea.
Reason.
Let's see. Regular signs. 1 meter signs. I need some nails. Do we have nails here? We do. We have more nails than this. That does not look like much. There are probably some more at the base. But the way we'll do this, we'll just quickly make a sign. We'll stick it on the side. And then we can know what's going in there. This is ultimately going to be a temporary thing still, but pop this there, for example, and change this to, I don't know, weapons. And tools. There we go. Close.
Yeah, because we don't really want our crawl space full of boxes eventually. No. We want them moved down here, but I just figured, you know, for the sake of a few bits of wood.
There we are. We've now got a wooden hatch above your way down as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll go and grab... Well, I'll actually grab my sleeping bag and bring it down here. That's fantastic, Sheila. You've done an amazing job in there.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing job.
I'm glad you're happy, because it's been a whole episode almost of just mining this out, but, you know, it's making the base, so it's a really important part of the game.
Yeah, yeah. I would caution people against massive, grand design projects for this reason, for specifically this reason. You will end up spending an enormous amount of your time just mining. And yeah, that can become very tedious, as much as it is a big part of the game.
I mean, I think just doing what we've done here and just getting a few sort of 5x5 rooms isn't too bad. But if you then decide you want to do like a 30x30 room with pillars and all this sort of thing,
yeah, that can...
It's kind of A, a bit surplus to requirements,
yeah,
and B, very boring. I'll probably just dig this little room out, and then we probably won't do too much to it for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I'm still gonna leave a lot of items just hanging around in the main base for now until we have a proper chest set up. But that being said, we can use a dump chest, and ultimately that is part of the secret plan that Sheila was talking about.
Yes.
In regards to building an area a certain distance down in a crawl space, is so that through a metal grill we can access storages. If we just park on top of like a metal grill, just get out of a vehicle or next to like a little metal grill area, get out of the vehicle, take the contents out of the vehicle, and then move it down into a dump chest that is reachable through the floor, through the iron grill, and then from within the base through the ceiling you can reach the dump chests and so on and so forth.
And so like you park your vehicle,
design.
Dump out all your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Run into the base.
That was good. I'm gonna actually hack this down now.
Can't wait to have a 4x4.
I know.
Good.
Well, the 4x4, I actually believe you can have a gunner on the 4x4, whereas you can't on anything else.
Oh wow. Just like Borderlands.
Yeah. And interestingly, you can totally hack the lock off a storage chest and then just leave it as a regular storage chest, rather than faffing around with the possibility that someone might lock it and then forget that they've done so. You don't tend to need to, I'll be perfectly honest. But, you know, it is definitely something you can do. Let's do that. There we go.
If you think someone will mess around with it.
Oh, it's more that it's very easy to forget, honestly. I rarely think that people do any of this sort of stuff.
Are you proud that I remembered to unlock all of those chests?
I am. I did check. And I am proud, yes. Oh, bless. Right, where is that lead? I'm going to move the lead down into the forge. There we are. Right, let's get over back to the base. I think that'll be a good bit of the moving of stuff over. I can set up a couple of signs. Now, the thing with signs, you can't just rewrite a sign. It's... You decide what's written on it at the time you place it down. And then from that point on, that's it. So be aware that if you are prone to making snap decisions and then regretting it later and wanting to shift things around, yeah, that is just going to be super annoying. Oh, actually, I'm talking rubbish. Apparently, you can just walk up to it and press E. There we go. Learn something new every day. I was certain that you couldn't rewrite them, but no, apparently you can. So yeah, I am talking complete and utter balderdash. Well, in that case, I'll go ahead and make all 5 of these signs.
I am super close to actually having this whole room like done.
Excellent.
To two high. Obviously we need to go higher than that or lower than that, I guess.
Let's rotate this around. Don't. There. I've moved my bedroll down here now as well.
Ah, wonderful. So we're actually proper moving in.
Yeah.
Yay.
I would say that the best way to protect ourselves from the potential shenanigans that are involved if you build a campfire and then walk on said campfire is to do...
is to have it inset.
It is to put it inset. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. The other thing that I find is just one large flagstone pillar block just to rise it up off the ground. We will need to tear it down later, but it's fine for now. Yeah. Pop that there, then you stick a campfire on top. I should have... Oh, I don't have the stones now to make that. Well, I need to go and grab those.
You're messing up my nice neat room up there.
Could you pop a campfire on top here?
Well, that's nice, yeah. Because, you know, I might have just a few stones.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Armor with a U, naturally. We will have building materials or building supplies.
Lovely.
Supplies. Because materials are a little bit over
That was a
specific.
lot of digging, but it's a lovely little room.
Yeah.
It's very cute now.
So we'd have building supplies like cobble, dirt, that kind of thing. May as well have food and medicine. In terms of our items, can you think of anything else we would need? Sheila?
No,
well,
just,
actually,
like,
this should be armor and
food,
clothing, I
medicine,
suppose.
wood. Like a material sort of chest.
Yeah, I've got building supplies at the top.
That, like building this.
Far left. So we've got weapons and tools, armor and clothing, building supplies, food and medicine. I guess one could be trade or loot. So if anything you just intend to sell or in fact coins themselves can go in there. The final one can be dump chest.
Well, that's I think the end of the episode too.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. So finally we have some semblance of inventory management. Not that we've actually moved much across, but we can now finally start arranging our materials, and it'll be a little bit easier to find things. I know that's probably making several people's brains itch, along with mine. The farm is now planted. It is not complete by any stretch of the imagination. I still need to fortify it significantly. But we've got 2 days until Horde Night, and plenty of stuff to do. Sheila, will you be going out and scavenging in the next episode, do you think?
I will, yes. Next episode I will rearrange my inventory to be less buildery based and getting my...
I'll probably hit a couple of the nearby points of interest then, just around here, and you can go a bit further afield. Unless you specifically want to go to that tower block. Might be worth it.
Yeah, I might just go up to that tower block.
Well, I might just run on foot.
Run there if you want.
Okay. Well, we've got a plan for tomorrow's episode then. I hope you're going to join us then. But until then, and as always, do take care, everyone.
And keep being awesome.